Xiomy here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a collective book haul. These are books that I have acquired for the past few months, just because everything with the pandemic, I wanted to do a little bit of a self-care, if you will, buying books, because you know what? You gotta treat yourself every now and then. Fortunately, a lot of the books were held and they didn't arrive on time, but I have them right now. Some of these are from my first time subscribing to Fairy Loot. I have to admit the books are gorgeous, but I forgot to unsubscribe and now I have 3 more months. But you know what? It's okay, because these are all books that I'm looking forward to, have been anticipated releases. So you know what? Without further ado, let's get into this mini collective book haul. Okay, so the first books that I'm going to get out of the way are books that I bought for my writing journey. And these are ones that I've wanted for such a long time. And I was like, you know what? I started writing my novel. Let me just splurge on that aspect, because I really needed these books. Especially I started writing my story with a different story map, and I would like to check different ones out, and this one is one that I wanted for quite a while, and then I bought it from Amazon. Something happened with UPS, they shipped it back, and then there weren't any available, so I had to buy it through Book Depository, and I finally have it, and that is Save the Cat Writes a Novel by Jessica Brody. I've heard so many great things about this, especially the beats and whatnot. I can't wait to just like sit down and actually physically read it, but this is one that I got because of that. And also I do know that it has something about like writing a sequel, and you know, I'm kind of a little bit lost there. So even though I have a lot of things in my mind, like I would like to get like little more hints and details. So that's why I actually purchased this, and I can't wait to just sit down, write in it, annotate it, and just highlight the things that I really want to expand on. So this is one of the happiest purchases that I've done, I'm gonna be honest with you. And the final book that I bought on writing is The Emotion Thesaurus. This is the 2nd edition, because I noticed that they were gonna come out with a new edition, so I was like, you know what, let me get the 2nd one. And I really am enjoying this. Like I have a lot of little tabs on things and words that I would like to, like, honestly, like, know the physical signs and behaviors, and how is it that you internally react to these things, because sometimes like I know how to react, but I don't know what to say for it. So this has helped me quite a lot, and it's a really immersive and really good detailed book about all the different emotions that you feel. And I would like some other emotions also like introduced in the story, not in the story but in the book, but the ones that it has quite a few, and they are really good. Okay, so let's start with the physical reading books that I got. The first one that I'm gonna mention is Pistol Daisy by Natalia Lee. I recently read this one. It's going to go up in one of my indie author vlogs that I'm going to be hopefully uploading, I'm gonna say pretty soon, but don't hold me accountable on that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. This is a Western story where you have Daisy, who her parents have been brutally killed, and she sets off on a vendetta to discover the person who actually was responsible for killing her family. And also along that journey she discovers, you know, newfound family, things that she didn't know about, and it's a really great journey of self-discovery for her. And also it's a great Western. Like I really enjoyed it. This is the first Western that I ever read, so I don't have anything to compare it to, but I have watched Westerns, movies and whatnot, and I thought that it was pretty good. Like I got that Western vibe to it, and I can imagine a lot of things like really crisp. There are content warnings for this book, so I highly suggest that you check them out. Even though it is marketed as YA, this is more new adult than YA. Content warning for sexual assault. There's also mention of wanting to hurt themselves, the death of family members, and you know, language, if that's something that bothers you. So yeah, highly check into the content warning, but this is a really fast-paced good read. The next book that I got, and it's also one that I'm really excited for, is Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the 2nd book in the Aurora cycle. I freaking adored the first one. It made me emotional. That ending made me sob like a little baby, but I can't wait to see what else happens. And also I highly suggest for you, if you've never read Aurora Rising, pick this book up, but do not flip it over, because the back has a spoiler that I just discovered a few days ago when I was taking pictures of it, that I actually flipped it, and I was just, oh my god, that's sorry, that's my phone. That's a really huge spoiler, but I can't wait. I just admire Cal, you know, because this is hopefully gonna be amazing. I've heard such great reviews already from this one, and I've heard from people that they've also bawled their eyes out at this one. So I am just I'm waiting to get physically and emotionally prepared to actually delve into this one. And the next book that I got is also a sequel, and that is The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. I read The City of Brass, I think it was last year, and I freaking fell in love with it. I raved about it so much. I even did a glowing review on Goodreads, and I just cannot recommend the David Bode trilogy enough. It's just amazing. And I never picked up the second book just because I was waiting for the third book, and the third book has already come out, but I ordered a box that includes the third book, so I can't actually read it. I'm not gonna read it just because I don't want to spoil myself or anything, in the sense that what if this ends in a cliffhanger? What if I'm emotionally distraught and I just need to pick up the final book? So that's why I'm gonna wait a little bit, because I am thinking about rereading The City of Brass, and then slowly but surely making my way through this one, so then when the third one finally arrives, I can just sit down and binge all of them, because that's what I really want to do. But this is a big book, and I don't know, like, I'm really excited for this. I can't wait to get into it. And honestly, just pick up The City of Brass. It is just such an amazing, atmospheric, incredible high fantasy story. The next book that I picked up is one that I already read, but I need to include it in this haul because I've been supporting my local bookstore. They recently opened an online store, and Aurora Burning, I got it from that online store, and I'm really excited because I've always wanted to help my local bookstore. Problem is, it's a 3-hour drive. I can't do long drives without my back like being in a lot of pain. So when they opened the online store, I was like, yes. And I have been purchasing books every now and then, but there are some that I want to purchase that aren't available, so I'm just gonna wait until they have it available. If you hear any scratching, that's my dog, who apparently needs to scratch the heck out of his bed. Okay, I think he's done. But the book that I'm mentioning is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is such a great, compelling story to actually pick up. It's filled with a lot of grief because it made me so emotional. Like in the first 14 pages, I was already tearing up. That's how good this book is. And here we have Jahaira and here we have Camino. This is a dual perspective story, and it's just so freaking amazing. We also have Elizabeth Acevedo delving back into novel in verse writing, and I freaking loved this one so much more than the Poet X, and that's saying a lot because the Poet X has a really strong hold in my heart because it was just pure and amazing. But this one I loved it a lot more because I connected a lot more to it. Jahaira is from New York. She's never been to Dominican Republic. Camino lives in Dominican Republic, so we actually get to see these two girls live, and also how is it that eventually their lives are going to be shaken up, and how is it that their lives intertwine. And there were moments where I was like, I think it's gonna head in this direction, but I'm like, nah, it can't be. Like, that can't happen. I'm stupid if I'm thinking that, because that's never gonna happen. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. And I was just like shocked because I was like, how the hell can you pull something like that off? But the story is amazing. It's lyrical, it's immersive, and it's just such a beautiful story because here we have a story about two girls who have their father who is traveling from New York to Dominican Republic. Now, in this flight from New York to Dominican Republic, the plane crashes. So here we get a story on the people who lost family members, loved ones, siblings, just people who were coming to Dominican Republic to have a good time, and how their lives were quickly swept under the rug just because it wasn't a 9/11 incident. So we have that story on, how important is your family or people that, were traveling from one place to another, and then all of a sudden you don't hear anything else in the news just because there's something else that's way more important than the lives of these people that were lost. And actually the grief that we find, and also newfound family. This was just such an amazing story. I highly suggest it. There is content warning for sexual assault. Also, there's content warning for, can I say, like lurking. There's a person who's always looking out for somebody, and in a nasty kind of way. There is, these girls dealing with catcall and just the death of family members, and flights. I know it's a flight from American Airlines. It's on the dedication page also. So this was great. I highly suggest it. It's just amazing. And again, Elizabeth Acevedo in my eyes can do no wrong. She's just such an incredible storyteller, and how diverse she is with including characters in her life that feel so lifelike, and you can't help but just want to jump into the book and actually hug them because they feel so amazing. Even though this is dual perspective, even also when you have the audiobook, you can tell who is narrating because there's the name on the top and the narrator in the audiobook, which is Elizabeth Acevedo, and also another person. They mention the name of each character, but you don't even know that because they're so distinctive. You can instantly pick up on who is speaking just because of the way that they carry themselves. But highly suggest for you to pick this book up. It was amazing. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I can't rave enough as to how good this book is. Next book that I'm going to mention is one that I got from Bay Crate. It's the first box that I ever ordered for them. I ordered the July box, and I remember that I only ordered it because it was a book that takes place in a convention, and I've never read, you know, books that take place in Comic-Cons. So I wanted to read a story like that. And we have two guys who roughly like eventually fall in love with one another. That's all I remember, and the story is called Conventionally Yours by Annabeth Albert. I don't know, but I do love these girls' recommendations because they do such great reads. So I can't wait to actually get into this one. But there's a little blurb that says sweet, emotional, and uniquely quirky. So I can't wait to get to this one. It sounds really good, and I hope that I enjoy it because there's also this artwork that came with it. It has both of the main characters, and I'm just like, that's so beautiful. So I can't wait to get into this one. The next book that I got is one that I got a while ago, but I never mentioned it. I don't think I mentioned it, and that is The Ruin of Kings. I got this one on a recommendation from Bookstagram. The only thing I remember from it is that it has dragons, and I wanted it. So there's that, but I do know that there's probably like, maybe, don't quote me on this, but I think there's going to be like an anti-hero kind of scenario in this story, just because it mentions that the main character is not destined to save the empire, he is destined to destroy it. It does deal with the fact that I can't pronounce his name. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, so I want to read it through the audiobook. Kieran, I hope that's it. This is adult, just in case. Kieran, he grows up in poverty in the slums of the place in the high fantasy world, and he notices that one day he is claimed because he is a long lost prince. And then he mentions that, you know, the books were wrong. The books told that princes, when they were found, they were treated like this and this and that, and he's basically treated like a prisoner. So I can't wait to see what happens, and that's why it mentions that he's not destined to save his empire, but he is destined to ruin it. So I can't wait to see how is the story that it develops, but I've heard really good things about it. And dragons, what more can you ask for? Okay, so my camera is flashing. I'm trying to make this quickly, but the next book that I got a while ago was Chain of Gold. I got this beautiful edition. It has a rune right there. It has the Cortana sword here, and it has a quote there. I haven't started it yet, but I really do want to, just because Victorian England, I think, or Victorian London, just the Victorian era per se, is one that I really enjoy. So I can't wait to actually get into this one. The final two books that I'm going to mention are ones that I got in my fairy loot, and the first one that I'm excited for is Incendiary by Sorada Cordova. I love her writing. The only books that I've read, I haven't read her previous books, but I have read the Brooklyn Brujas series, which is Labyrinth Lost and Bruja Born. The third book is going to be coming out pretty soon, which is Wayward Witch. I love those books, so I can't wait to see what happens in this one. But I just love this edition, and like the prints that it has, like the artwork underneath is just freaking gorgeous. So I really can't wait to get into this one. I don't know anything about it, or at least I don't remember anything about it, so I really don't want to read because I want to go into it with little to no information. But I will be linking the Goodreads down below just in case you want to know a little bit more about it. And the final book that I got in a fairy loot is Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Hortos. Okay, I'm not gonna pronounce it because I know I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm gonna look up the pronunciation when I hear the audiobook. But I wasn't into this one until I heard somebody rave about it, and I was just like, wow, I need that book. And then when I noticed that Fairy Loot was gonna have an edition of it, I was just like, yep, I need to buy that box. So that's why I kind of subscribed to Fairy Loot, because they were gonna have really good books in you know, their releases. So yeah, I really think that the edition is also really good, and like, not good, but it's beautiful. And also like the artwork is freaking stunning. Like, you can't tell me that that is not gorgeous. Like, you can't tell me that's not gorgeous. Oh, I can't wait to actually read this book, because again, I've heard really good things about it, but I think that this one is like, I don't know if the main character is like supposed to be evil or mean, but you know what, I'm all for it. But it does sound like it's going to be a really good story, and I can't wait to actually get into this one. So yeah, those are all the books that I managed to get. There are some that are still coming, so hopefully I can do another book haul for the month of August, because that is my birthday month. So yeah, but yeah, that's it for this video. Which one am I really excited for to read that I haven't read? Definitely Incendiary, because like I said, I love Sorada Cordova's story, and I can't wait to actually get into another book that she has written. So yeah, that's it for this video, because if not, my camera is going to die. But I want to say thank you for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day and or night, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.